Hello students. Hello sir. So welcome to the lab. Today we are going to see about the difference between the IC engine and the electric vehicle, right? So we are going to have a design thinking based lecture. So in this lecture we are going to cover about the difference between the IC engine and the electric vehicle. So let us begin the lecture. As we do in a design thinking approach, I would like to collect some answers from your perspective. So what do you mean by IC engine? Before that, why this pollution is a main factor, and what do you think about the pollution?
Sir, the pollution are caused by automobile vehicles like 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler, 4-wheeler and more than 4 wheelers.
Yes, as Ishwar told, if you see the automobile, you can see 2-wheeler, 3-wheeler and 4-wheeler and commercial vehicles, of course, more than 4-wheel, right? So what they do is they burn the fuel and they emit gases, right? So do you know what are the gases that are emitted by the automobile vehicles?
The pollutions are caused by some gases like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide and hydrogen oxide. Harmful to human being to breathe.
Yes, as Darshini told, if you see the harmful gases, right, as she rightly mentioned, the carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, they are very harmful, and hydrocarbons, not hydrogen oxide, they are hydrocarbons and the unburned fuel, right, they mix it with the environment and they will cause breathing suffocation to the human beings. So this is the major issue nowadays. So in order to avoid this, we must have a design thinking idea that to replace the existing vehicle, IC engine vehicle into an electric vehicle. So first of all, we must know what are the parts that are in the IC engine, right? Can I ask a question to Google so that you can tell what are the parts that are in the IC engine?
Parts in the IC engine. First one is engine. The engine burns fuel and air mixture.
Yes, as Google mentioned rightly, in IC engine, if you see the major components, right? So the first component is the engine. So this engine takes the fuel from the fuel tank and it is burnt inside the engine, right? That is why it is called as internal combustion engine, right? So this fuel is burnt inside the engine and then it creates the power. So this power is used by the gearbox in order to supply to the wheels. The required amount of power is supplied by the gearbox, right? According to the gears that are shifted by the help of the driver. So nowadays in automobile, if you see automatic gearbox, manual gearbox are there, right? So if you see the IC engine, the main component is the engine, the next one is the gearbox. So we can replace these components in order to reduce the pollution, because in this lecture our theme is to reduce the pollution, am I right? So let us hear from the next student about the components of the electric vehicle.
In an electric vehicle, instead of an engine, the output is coming from a motor. The power is supplied by a battery instead of the traditional gases that we use.
Yes, as he told, if you see the electric vehicle, the main component here is the motor. It supplies the power for the propulsion. And other than this, if you see the next thing is, instead of fuel tank, there is a battery which supplies the power to the motor, right? So, do you know the advantages and disadvantages of the electric vehicle?
Government offers many subsidies to the electrical vehicle. There is no tax for that, and also it causes less pollution. It about 0.5%.
Yes, actually, as Darshini told, if you see the government's plan about the electric vehicle, it encourages the customer to buy electric vehicles, right? So if you see the road tax, there is no road tax for the electric vehicle. And one more thing, the government collects tax up to 5% only for the vehicle, that is electric vehicle. If you go for the IC engine vehicle, the maximum tax limit is up to 40%. So the government produces, have norms on reducing the taxes and encourages the people to buy electric vehicle in order to meet the pollution standards. Because if you see the recently a volcano in Ethiopia, right, it emits it started as an active volcano and it started emitting lava, am I right? So the environment is nowadays polluting in a different means, but as a human being we must take some actions to avoid pollutions, and we have to take stringent measures to protect our future. Am I right? Because you are the next generation kids. Am I right? So you are in the first year, and if you complete your engineering, and if you see, and if you go, if you have a family after 5 to 10 years, if you see that nowadays pollution causes many issues, right? Even if you see Delhi, the metropolitan cities like Chennai, if you see the air quality index is beyond 600, right? So what happens is people will face breathing issues likewise, right? So we must have a longer vision to meet the future demands, and we have to save the future for our next generation. This design thinking video had an insight about the IC engine. Am I right? IC engine, the components of the pollution, right? Nitrogen oxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and hydrocarbons. And if you see, as he told the parts, if you see the parts, the engine and gearbox can be replaced by means of a motor and a battery. Am I right? As you told, right? As she told, Darshini told, the government's taxes and the subsidy can be used by the people, and people can be encouraged to buy more electric vehicles in order to reduce the pollution. So thanks for listening, and we will meet in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you.